In this video, hot on the heels of how hard is it to replace a headlamp on a Berlingo, stop laughing. We're going for fuel filter and, well, the fuel filter housing, and this is it. And even though this is brand new, that is really difficult to undo. It's almost like they aren't meant to come undone. But fortunately, somewhere I have a spanner. Bear with me. It's very colourful. It's a beautiful colour. In theory, you put that on there, and you can turn it with a ratchet to get it undone. So should we try that? That is still horrendously tight, but nonetheless. Did that just do it? Yes. There we go. Oh, so one of me protective ends. We'll put that back on. So it's a lock ring on the outside that holds this in place, which means you can leave all the pipework attached, and then that should come off like so. And then it's even got a filter in it. It has. It's got a brand new filter in it. Well, that's a bonus. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of in the way. That's kind of in the way. This is all a bit different, isn't it? They're just doing it in mid-air. Try and pull these. Yeah, there we go. The hose is on the way. Get it off. So it's an interesting question. Could that go tighter still? I mean, could that be the issue, that it just wasn't tight in the first place? That has definitely gone a bit more. I think it might be worth firing her up, and we'll just have a look at this pipe, because we were seeing bubbles in this pipe, which is why we thought this is all not good. Oh, you see, that's not a good noise.
How did you feel?
How did I what? How did I feel?
No, not you. The car.
Oh.
When we started her up, a big load of bubbles shot through. But since then, there haven't been anything.
Okay.
It was like almost like foamy bubbles.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is not good. We don't want that. But we've got no bubbles here. There's some people saying these can definitely go and start playing up, but we're not seeing any bubbles in this section of pipe, only this section. Yeah, really bad. Let's do it. Get this changed over. I'm going to say this was not PSA's best bit of design work ever. I bet these things work really well when they're brand new. But I can't even get this tool on here. Oh, it actually slipped. It's not meant to do that. Oh, we pulled that plug off. Where did that come from? Down there. Okay. Sorry, little connector. And let's get this off again. No, oh wait. There we go. That's turning nicely now. So, I can undo the lock ring. So yeah, I mean, everything's got to come off anyway, wiring wise. I don't know how these come off. How did these come off? Is that simple? It is that simple. You push down on the white bit and they come off. What about this one? This seems to be an entirely different design. Okay, can't find a manual, but we're going to try and do what we did there, which is colour in, press it this way, press that bit in, and then, yeah, that would appear to work. That's how you do it. Now, the problem could be here, but I haven't got a new one of these. Well, they do seem an appalling design, so maybe we'll try smearing a bit of grease or something around there. And I think it's just these 10mm bolts. Ugh. There's one there, and of course there's one the other side, but buried under wires and hoses and everything. I'm pretty sure that unions in France go on strike if jobs are too easy. This is not difficult enough. Was that a bit racist, that? Oh! I think that got it. But don't forget, France is also the home of the Triangle of Doom wiper pervert.
What?
More French cars than any other country have really bad Triangles of Doom. Always wear gloves when you're doing this job so you don't end up stinking of diesel. Oops. Yeah, and the smell of diesel easily washes out. There we go. There's the filter housing out. I can't see any cracks anywhere, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Why they couldn't make these out of a decent quality material like metal, I don't know. Although it must be said, the XUD diesels that do have metal filter housings can still have leaks. So new filter housing came with a filter, so that's a very short-lived filter. Yeah, does that clip in? Oh yeah, there we go. So that attaches to that. One thing I might do, we have some injection cleaner here from Liquimoly. I think this was meant to help clean up a certain Daihatsu. So just to try and make life easier, I'm going to pour all of this into there. It's not a full can, unfortunately, but nonetheless it's a bit less liquid that we have to pump through for priming. Plus, injection cleaner seems like a good thing to have in the injectors. There we go. Beautiful. So that's where it needs to be. Get the locking ring on. Yeah, I think this is a water sensor. I think it will flash a light if it detects too much water in the diesel. Okay, that's not great. This port isn't used at all. It doesn't exist on the old one. So I think I might bung a cable tie on that just to really try and snug that up. But that's disappointing because that is a potential source of air leaking in. If only I had some Hubnut cable ties. Would you believe it? I have some Hubnut cable ties because Hubnut. So that's good. Let's make that into a loop, make life easier for ourselves.
Where are they available?
The Hubnut store, along with very, very fetching, very colourful Bella hoodies in a lovely shade of green. They're absolutely beautiful. If it was slightly warmer, we might be demonstrating them. There we go, that feels nice and snug on there. I need to get some cable tie pliers that really help you get it nice and tight. I can't put a lot more force into that, I don't think. So with that done, I'm now going to keep on priming. I suppose you could use that as a bleed port, but yeah, lots of air in the system, but I believe it should sort itself out.
I was going to say, wouldn't you anticipate that just having all the stuff off?
Oh,
There's a leak.
Yeah, there we go, we're pressurising up. This is not sealed enough, which is worrying because I'm not sure how much tighter I can actually get this.
That connector.
Is it the connector?
This one. It's just dripping off there.
Oh, that's bad times. So we've made things worse, is what you're saying?
Do you know, people are probably just thinking, oh my gosh, this is going curiously well.
That's still, no, I think that's coming up, that's bubbling up, that's not leaking down. Yeah, that is the housing ring not working. I didn't check what the seal situation was inside it. Let's check there isn't a seal separate. No, that's still seeping through. That is hopeless. Has eBay done me a dirty again? Right, we're going to try putting the old head on. No guarantee this will work. Of course, everything's getting slippery and diesel soaked now. It just adds to the merriment generally. Let's see where we are. Okay, that's starting to go hard. Right, moment of truth. Stand clear. There's a flurry of bubbles, but I would expect that to start with. You can see the bubbles actually rushing off back on, I think that's the return pipe there. So that must be a bleed point off the back of the pump there. So that's where these bubbles are coming from. Look at that, that's really bad. Rev her up, let's see if we can get her clearing those bubbles out. Oh, that is just a foam party at the moment. There's still way more bubbles coming out of here than are going through here though. Cars are great. So that'll be another successful Hubnut job. We seem to have made things worse. So do I order up these connectors now? Do I replace the primer bulb? Do I get yet another housing but try to get a decent one? Is that still the problem? Is it leaking around the rim? I don't know how you're meant to tell. I really don't. So I welcome your thoughts. I know running issues on these engines, this is a very common issue. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do next. Actually, we're not going to end that one there because we're going road tripping. Bella came out yesterday. We took her for about a 70-mile round trip to Carmarthen and back, and she's okay. The issue we had before is still there. It's no better, but it's no worse. Despite the fact we were seeing a bit of air, it could have just been because obviously we just effectively filled a completely empty fuel canister with a filter. It's got a new filter in it. It doesn't seem to be producing as many bubbles. I think there's still some. I reckon the elbow connectors could be to blame, but solid, we're going. So here we go. So our start mileage 181,306. We've got 215 miles today. We're going up to Kendal in Cumbria, which is a bit of a stop before I get over to Barnard Castle. So that's where I'm going to be filming on Monday, and then I'm going to be driving all the way back Monday night into Tuesday. So yeah, should be good fun. Let's go. Right, it is currently 12:30. It's lunchtime-ish, but we had a bit of a late start to the day, which is what you want to do on a Sunday, isn't it, really? So we'll get moving and see how far we can get, stop for lunch somewhere, and continue. But yeah, Bella is running as well as she ever did, really, which leads me to think I was throwing parts at a problem that wasn't there. And that's entirely possible. But you may be thinking, why am I taking Bella on this trip? There's a couple of reasons. Betty has shaken my confidence a bit. There's something wrong, and I think I may have fixed it, but I'm not sure. That's a video that I was meant to get out today, actually, on Sunday. That I haven't quite managed to edit it. We had a lovely family day out yesterday, so no editing time. So hopefully that'll fill you in on what's going on there. But yeah, I'm just feeling a little shaken. Also, January, February, terrible months for income. The shop's quiet, advertiser income's quiet, so the more money I can save this time of year the better, and I will use pretty much half the fuel taking this car instead of Betty. Obviously the fuel for this car costs more, so that means it isn't quite a half and half when it comes to costs, but yeah, saving a bit of fuel doesn't hurt. And I also don't want to take any of the classics, and the classics really are anything that isn't Betty or Bella. I consider these my moderns. Show me the Charade sitting slightly outside all of it, because technically that's Miss Hubnut's car. News coming on that car very soon. But I don't want to take Miss Daisy, because Miss Daisy, although rust protected, Tim has done a good amount of work at Cambrian Classics to prevent her from rusting. I still think driving around in the salt's probably not ideal, and she's actually had a bit of that already this year, a bit more than I'm happy with. Giselle, the GSA, ruled out for exactly the same reason. Our bloke was going far too quickly, almost took out some pedestrians, so I'm very glad he missed them. Yeah, no Giselle, even though Giselle's meant to be coming out this month. I don't think it's a good idea to take a car out of storage and just suddenly subject it to a 550-mile trip, which is what I think we're going to be getting on for over the next few days. Let's pay attention to the junction. All good. I did consider taking Ellie, but again, Ellie is already struggling to contain rot she already has, so I don't think it's a good idea to take her out in salty roads either. It's a lovely day today. Feels quite mild, but nighttime temperatures are hovering around freezing, so they will definitely be gritting, and we're going north, so it's only going to be colder. But yeah, it's just a beautiful day for travelling, so I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, there are many excuses, and that's why I decided to get Bella out, even though she's running imperfectly. Still got this light throttle, low rev situation where she's bucking, and I'm not sure it is the air, because most of the air I can see is coming out the top of the pump and just going back into the return lines. So although there is a bit of air there, I don't think that's what's causing the running issue. It could just be that she's done 181,000 miles and is more than likely on her original injectors, so they're probably just really tired. But do I try and fix the injectors, to replace them, you're kind of looking 70 or 80 quid each. Probably get some reconditioned ones for slightly less. But yeah, I've no experience with fuel injectors. So I think one thing I might try on this trip is we'll give her a tank of super diesel. And just to see if that makes things better or worse at all. I don't know. But yeah, lots of miles to do. So we'll get on with it. I'll flip you into time-lapse mode. For this journey, I think this car might actually be better than Betty. Betty is great for motorways, but we still haven't reached one. Even though we've been going for almost 2.5 hours. Going north, it's a long slog to get to faster roads. But on these roads, sort of fast A and B roads, really Bella de Berlingo excels. Where Betty feels just twitchy and enormous, and I guess I've never quite recovered from binning her back in July 21, not long after I got her on the road here. Yeah, Bella just feels more composed and a bit grippier. Here we go, folks. 2 3/4 hours since we left home. It's a dual carriageway. And yes, I was also quite surprised to see a Land Rover 90 towing a Range Rover. That would seem quite squashed on the old rear suspension there. And here's exactly why I didn't want to bring one of my nicer cars on this trip. Gritters! Because in the UK, we don't spread grit. Despite the fact we call them gritters, this is rock salt being distributed by this truck. Let's accelerate through the pain. Ah! Oh, it's so damaging. And obviously salt does what you'd expect of cars, it makes them rust away. So that's why I'm not in one of my nicer cars. Sorry, Bella. There's a rare sight for Miss Hubnut. Daihatsu Materia. 2008, about the last year that Daihatsu were involved with the UK market. Well, we have just reached Cumbria, the Lake District, a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Sadly, we're not going to get to see too much of it on this trip, but nonetheless, we've made it. It's a beautiful evening, but yeah, we've been going for 4 hours 20 now. 11 miles, 16 minutes to our accommodation. Oh, sky's on fire. Beautiful. So lucky to get out and see these sights. Oh, this is pretty. Wow. Don't know if you've got the view down there, the stone bridge and everything. River running through. Well, there we go then. We've arrived in Kendal. Bella is running as good, as bad as she ever has done. Just cruising along at speed. Really nicely indeed, really well. So I think I'm going to end this one there. We'll obviously continue this trip, probably a further vlog about the rest of this trip, how it's gone. But we are here in Kendal. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.